entertaining and educational. This is major. Special guests, I'm talking plenty moves and shakers.
What's up, Cleveland?
In the house, the time is right now. Strategic Moves Radio Show with Kenn. Time to motivate, inspire, and right now, this is what you need. And it's hosted by Kenn. Art, politics, and culture. So let's go. Strategic Moves with Kenn Radio Show. Let your voice be heard. Time to elevate. Ay, call in or talk to me Tuesday. Ay, let your voice be heard. Time to elevate. 95.9 FM. Tune in and don't wait. What's on your mind Tuesday? Streaming on WOBU.org.
Good afternoon, listeners. Welcome to another episode of Strategic Moves with Kenn and Dr. Heather E. Burton. I am Dr. Burton. And we are in studio today, and I am actually in studio by myself today. Kenn decided that he was not going to be here and left me with the reins to do what I need to do, what I want to do, to talk about some things with you all on today. And so I'm excited because we actually are going to have a conversation with Black men today. Conversation with Black men and talking about their role within the community and what that looks like for mentoring in all aspects and things like that. So excited about that. We have had an interesting weekend. I had a lot of events that I attended this weekend, a lot of celebrations. And I started thinking about this particular subject because I had an opportunity Friday to present for a room full of Black men for leadership. And in that presentation, this was the first time that I had ever presented for all Black men. I have done audiences of all white men, audiences of mixed gender, mixed race, but never an audience of all Black men. And so in looking across that room, I thought about just the role of Black men in leadership and what Black men were doing throughout our city and throughout the nation. And so in that, I got excited about this idea to have a conversation with Black men. And so I've got a couple people coming in the studio today and one online. And so we will get to that shortly. But let's talk about some things that are happening in the news. We saw that government shutdown is ending. You know my opinions on some stuff. We see certain things. What's going to happen next? I was listening to an interview with Kamala Harris, and she was just talking about the different things of us not being blinded with her new book that's out, and taking a look at that and thinking about different things that we are not blinded by the government system. And so we know what's happening. We know how we're being affected, and we need to stay aware. We need to stay aware of those things that are impacting us and those things that we are dealing with. And so as we continue to kind of move through this morning, we are, or I should say afternoon, right? Because it's 12 o'clock. So this afternoon, we're getting a couple things in the studio together as we get ready for our guests to join us, because I told y'all we were talking about Black men. Now, I want y'all to realize I'm not an expert as it comes to Black men. I don't know what it means to walk in the shoes of a Black man. I don't know what it means to live as a Black man. But I thought it would be a powerful conversation just to get Black men in the room and me being a woman doing the interview. So y'all know how I feel about that. And then Kenn's not here. So I know Kenn is going to be like, you know what? How you going to have this conversation with me not in the studio? But it's a needed conversation. And often we minimize Black men. And I've been hearing so many things that talk about how Black men voted in this election, the discontent, the disconnect between Black men and Black women. And so we're going to give some Black men an opportunity to talk and share their role and share their perspective in terms of how we move the community forward and wherever the conversation leads us. So we'll be back after this commercial break to talk and engage with some of our guests.
1 in 5 U.S. adults experiences mental illness each year. Mental health is a journey that can begin at any time. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline offers access to trained crisis counselors by phone, chat, or text. Black Americans experience mental health conditions at similar rates as other racial groups, but often face greater barriers to care. More information is available from the Cleveland Office of Minority Health at clevelandhealth.org. This message is funded by the Ohio Commission on Minority Health.
Attention Blue and Green Line riders. Major improvements to the East 79th Street Blue-Green Line station have begun. The station will remain closed for 12 to 14 months. As of Monday, June 9th, the number 2 East 79th Street bus route will continue to serve the station on weekdays. 7-day RTA routes in the vicinity include the Red Line and the number 14A Kinsman bus route. Alert contacts and trip planner can both be found on RTA's website. RTA appreciates your patience while these station improvements are being completed.
Brought to you by WOVU 95.9 FM.
Support for WOVU comes from Neighborhood Family Practice, a nonprofit federal qualified health center with 7 locations on Cleveland's west side and in Lakewood. NFP provides primary care, behavioral health, dental, midwifery, and pharmacy services. Medicaid, Medicare, and most commercial insurance plans are accepted. A sliding
Come on, y'all.
No matter where you are, you can stream the Voice of the Village anytime, anywhere. Get all your favorite shows, the hottest community conversations, and the music that moves the culture. Now just a tap away on iHeartRadio app. So whether you're at home, at work, or on the go, take WOVU with you. Search WOVU 95.9 FM on your iHeartRadio app because our voices matter 24/7, and so does the mission. WOVU 95.9 FM.
Support for WOVU 95.9 FM comes from HIP Cuyahoga, connecting residents with information and resources that support healthier living. HIP Cuyahoga highlights the impact of simple habits like drinking more water, getting more rest, eating more vegetables, or spending more time with family. Learn more at hipcuyahoga.org. That's HIP Cuyahoga.org. Powered by the Centers for Disease Control and the Cuyahoga County Board of Health.
Hello, this is Dr. Charles Maudlin, urologist. I would like to thank WOVU for your partnership in helping me improve the health of the Black and brown communities. With the partnership of WOVU, we've been able to get the word out about the importance of preventative health screenings for early detection of disease that saves lives. WOVU, in my eyes, is a lifesaver, and we need to support this radio station always. Thank you, WOVU, for your partnership in helping us improve and save the lives of Black and brown communities here in Cleveland and Northeast Ohio.
You're listening to the Strategic Moves with Kenn Radio Show. From knowledge to action, from action to justice. It's time to challenge, empower, and reshape the future. Dr. Heather E. Burton is here to drop the truth, ignite the conversation, and keep the movement alive.
Welcome back to Strategic Moves with Kenn and Dr. Heather Burton. Kenn has left me in the studio by myself today, and so I am in a place where I am having some great conversation by myself. Hold on, y'all. I got some feedback. I apologize. So we got one of our studio guests who has just joined us, and see, now I'm gonna be like this with black men. Y'all always late. No, I'm just joking. Just kidding, black men. I love me some black men. So I want to introduce the newly elected 24th International Grand Polaris of Iota Phi Theta. And I share with you all that I had the opportunity Friday to present for a room full of black men. Well, those black men was the leadership, the international leadership of Iota. And interestingly enough, as I said, that was my first time, but looking around that room, I started to begin to think about the impact that black men have on our community and our society and what that looks like. And so I brought together some black men, and we've got others that will join us later in the broadcast. But Orlando, welcome.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Or
How
should
are
I
you?
say Grand Polaris?
Oh, man, you can call me Orlando, but yes, Grand Polaris will be sufficient. Or Grand Polaris Grant, however.
All right, Grand Polaris Grant. I want to make sure that I have the proper name, give you your due,
Yes.
so that we can recognize that. And so you are now the newly elected 24th International Grand Polaris.
Yeah.
Had a great weekend of Iotas in town, a great celebration on Saturday. What's the plan, black man? What's the plan, black man? What are we doing to move the community forward?
Well, as the newly elected International Grand Polaris, reigning here from the city of Cleveland, after 62 years of existence all around this world, my plan is just a reflection of the needs and the wants of the brothers. It's to really ultimately serve our communities and to serve them in a way that is going to make their life better for the people that they're serving. We have over 300 chapters all over the world, all the way from Korea to right here in the city of Cleveland. And like many of our members, we come from the communities that we're now serving. Our stories are it's different in this sense, but it also is reflective that we are somewhat the success stories that we're able to come out of the communities. So now it's almost like you being a good steward. You have to go back and serve the communities that you once represented. And so we have a multitude of programs all the way from healthy lifestyles, mental health awareness for black men, leadership development, higher education attainment for our young brothers and sisters, being able to be a resource through economic empowerment, through financial literacy, through a wide range of events. We're going to use those particular skills to be able to support, help, and uplift our communities, the same communities that we came from, the same communities that looks like we do, that understand the challenges associated with those communities and provide them a resource that they're going to help have a better life in this country that we all know and love.
I love that. And I think one of the things that you said was leadership development. And probably one of the best leadership trainings you had would have been Friday afternoon at 1 p.m. Would you agree?
I would say, the thing about it is so remarkable how the small things that happen during these trainings have such a lasting impact. And we had an exercise that tell me about you. Not tell me about you.
Who are you?
Who are you? And that exercise said, hey, this is who I am. I'm a father. I'm a mother. I'm a brother. I'm an uncle. I'm a professional. But it was not about what you do, but who are you?
Yeah.
And that exercise really brought out a couple things that we learned from it. One, we learned a little bit about ourselves and what it is that make us us. Mm-hmm. Two, we learned about a few of the other leaders that we have within our scope that we work with, and saying, hey, let's provide a way to help learn a little bit more about them so we can help them elevate, and then we can help them elevate. A brother that I was teamed up with, I worked with him for many and many years, but I never knew so much about him and what makes him him. And that exercise was able to help us do that. So it gave me a greater perspective on who he is and how I can help enhance him to be a better leader. Because once again, if I help him be a better leader, then he can pass it on to help the people that work for him or work with him be better leaders as well.
Yeah. And it's interesting that when I think about some of how they responded to that activity, is that most of the people didn't understand or didn't realize. They all talked about what they did versus who they were.
Right.
And we don't often understand that in leadership position that who we are dictates kind of how we lead.
Exactly.
And so thinking about that from that moral, that perspective. We're going to bring him in a minute, but I'm going to get him to start thinking about, I didn't realize we was going to have the Divine Nine up in the studio today representing. But we've got members of Kappa Alpha Psi Iota Phi Theta. And of course, you all know I'm not representing. Let me preface this. I am Dr. Heather E. Burton with Strategic Moves, but I am a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and a proud member. But that is not my representation. I am not speaking on behalf of Delta.
Right.
But as we think about this, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you all about is whose responsibility is it to create change in the black community?
Ooh.
Like, whose responsibility is it to create change? And both of you all are public figures. And so as public figures, automatically comes this responsibility of being a role model, of people looking at you for change. why do you think we put all of our hope in this idea of public figures?
That's it's interesting to say that, because me personally speaking, some of the people that have had the greatest impact on my life and my journey are people like and he'll introduce himself later. Brother
Everybody
Michael.
know Judge Nelson. Judge Nelson is a regular on the show. He like a substitute co-host.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm learning something myself. But people like him that are quote unquote regular folks when I was younger, and they serve as a role model and an example. Like I remember when I was growing up, a gentleman that grew up on the street would go to work every day in a suit and a briefcase, and he would catch the bus. And as a little kid, I said, I want to be like him when I grow up. Because I always wanted to work downtown, and I was going to position myself to do some things to be able to do that. And now I'm working downtown, not wearing a suit and briefcase, but that positive experience through exposure, through engagement, created the person that laid the foundation for who I am today. So I'm still still a work in progress, nowhere near perfect, but I'm still trying to be the best replication. So I don't put essence technically on elected officials or people with positions of power or influence. It can be somebody that's doing what they're supposed to do on an everyday basis to say, hey, you can have a positive impact, and it's up to us. It's up to everyone. So to also answer your question, it's everyone's responsibility, man, woman, boy, and or girl, a community. Because I believe that Shirley Chisholm said, service is the rent that we pay for the space that we occupy on this earth. And I live by that motto and that mode. So anything that I can do to be of service to someone else, because I was once there. I grew up in a single-parent home. I was one of 7 kids. I seen my mom struggle. I seen all of the things that it took for her to help me be where I am today. So understanding that, I'm going to make sure that I ensure that I live up to the legacy that she left before me in order for me to be able to be a legacy for someone else.
And so let's add, I'm gonna jump in this, and I want to bring you in, Judge Nelson. You done got yourself situated. You like me, we run into the studio all the time and late.
I heard you talking about me on my way over here. Talked about us, talking about how late black men are.
But you got on my shirt today.
Yeah,
you came in with the Asada shirt on, never
That's right.
scared.
That's
you
right.
came in, so
That's
you
right.
came in representing today. So I'm all right. And if you all have not read this autobiography, I recommend everybody pick up the autobiography of Asada Shakur, Never Scared. It is it was the best. It's probably between that and Malcolm X are my 2 favorite autobiographies that I often go back and read. So Judge Nelson is representing today. Well, I had to pick on the black men, though, of being late, because I'm always late. We know. Y'all know me. I'm always late. I do better. My mom said one day, aren't you tired of being late? I said, why change? But when we think